Okay, hello guys. I hope yeah, we are live. Just a couple of minutes to wait until the video is going on, just to cut the delay between the streaming and the broadcasting video. My name is Roman Gobinov, aka Boogeyman, as you probably know, and you're watching What the Hack show. Today we are going to fundamentally review or do a fundamental analysis review of, you probably noticed, Stellar. So what the heck is Stellar? Today we're gonna talk about major definitions about the problem that this project is trying to solve and how it solves that problem, or is trying to solve it. Okay, so yeah, before we started, just make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and our Telegram channel called the same, Whatdahack 71, and Whatdahack is on YouTube channel. It is the second time we are broadcasting in the morning, so I may be lagging. Okay, so yeah, it's been a pretty tough and busy week, so a lot of energy already wasted, invested, let's say so. But I have more, and I have more, and I have more to perform today's stream and tell you very interesting things about Stellar. So make sure you are following us on Facebook as well. I think so yeah, last time we made a stream on Ripple. Also you can find a stream on fundamental analysis of Dash and Steam on our YouTube channel, and a couple of other videos. So I want to announce that it is the last video in this first batch of streams. Probably will take a 1 week off, and just to analyze how we made it, just to improve some technical issues and some other stuff to make it more entertaining, to more fascinating and interesting for you guys, to make the material more comprehensive probably. So as usual, today we're trying to fit all the information within less than the previous time. Today we're trying to fit it in 40 minutes. So we are cutting the time frame each and every time, because I understand that if a video is long, it's getting boring, and to be honest, fundamental analysis is not like blah blah show. It's more about information and data and numbers and charts, and but still I'm trying to make it fascinating and entertaining for you. So give your comments what you like or did not like, do not like, so we'll take all the critiques and we'll upgrade the show, we'll upgrade the information we are presenting to you, and we'll do all the best. Yeah, before we start, one more thing. The full fundamental analysis profile of Stellar as a digital asset will be shortly published on zet.fund/zshop. Zshop, it is a database of fundamental analysis of most popular digital assets. So we're steadily publishing information about the previous project we analyzed, such as Steam, as I already said, Dash, Ripple, and in very soon future Stellar will be published as well. So let me check how the video is going, and yeah. So is it working good? No. I think, sorry guys, yeah, today we have problems with the microphone, so I'm using this microphone. Probably I will be heard more better, more clear. My speech will be more clear if I put the mic like so. Yeah, I see myself on the screen. I hope you like my look today. We're upgrading not just the look of the studio, but the look of the hoster, and I hope you like it. Anyway, give any comments in the chat or down below the video. Yes, so Stellar, we're doing fine, absolutely fine. Yeah, and okay, I'll put the countdown, backwards countdown, so we can make it within 40 minutes. So 8 minutes, sorry, I spent on the intro, too much, so I do not want to waste any more time. Let's start. Right, so before we start, guys, I just want to remind you once again, please be advised that presented analysis is not an investment, financial advice, trading advice, or any other type of advice. Presentation owner, by the way, presentation owner is Zet Fund and Whatdahack. The stream is hosted by Whatdahack. The fundamental analysis is performed by Zet Fund. Does not have any responsibility on any decision taken based on the provided content. The analysis is purely for information purposes, and presentation owner does not have any responsibility for any missing or wrong information. Any information included can be used at one's own risk. Moreover, cryptocurrencies are very volatile. Do not invest all of your savings. That's true, guys. Cryptocurrencies are damn, you understand? 10 AM. I'm still sleeping a bit. I need a sip of coffee. Okay, so cryptocurrencies are very volatile. So an average volatility of an asset today is about 10-15%. That's good for trading, that's good for market development, you know. But that's a risk, so keep in mind that. Yeah, one more thing before we stick 100% to Stellar. I just want to tell you that be aware that there are a lot of scams and danger in the market right now. So accordingly to CoinMarketCap, there are 1889 projects right now in the market. Accordingly to a research of one agency, unfortunately I do not remember the name of the agency, about 75 to 90% of all recent ICOs are scams. So I believe that the same figure, 75 to 90%, can be applied to the whole cryptocurrency market. So just imagine that like 1500 projects that exist right now in the market are scams. Just imagine it. It can be false, but just imagine. So it is a potential risk again. So be aware. That's why we're here. That's why we provide full, fundamental, in-depth, detailed, fundamental analysis of new digital assets such as cryptocurrencies and tokens and DAOs, decentralized organizations. Okay, let's stick to Stellar mainly. So let me switch the screen to the presentation. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Okay, cool. So, and I want to make myself visible. Just give me a second. Yep. Like so. Okay. Yeah, now it's better. So, okay. Stellar. Right. So, what is Stellar? It is a disclaimer. It is a disclaimer. Okay. It is Zet Fund methodology. So, Stellar. Yes. So to begin with, guys, I want you to say that Stellar is not a non-profit project focused on providing everyone equal access to easy banking methods. It is a platform that connects banks, payment systems, and people. They provide financial integration to move money quickly, reliably, and at almost no cost. So that's probably a very common promise and statement for many projects that are currently existing in the market. But it's not a problem regarding Stellar. The legal entity behind this project called Stellar Development Foundation, and it was incorporated in 2014, and right now is based in San Francisco. And besides company, I just want you to present the basic notions and definitions that we're gonna review, and that are basically the base, actually the base of the Stellar product and its infrastructure. Okay, so the first one is a Stellar network. So the Stellar network presents a worldwide distributed collection of nodes running Stellar core software, working on Stellar protocol to agree on transaction sets, thus to sustain the network availability and prevent from malicious activity. So, other words, the Stellar network is a network of nodes that sustain the network. Nodes, if you do not know, nodes are computers that run in blockchain. In other cryptocurrencies, in case of Stellar, it is software, it is not blockchain. We will review it a bit later. So the Stellar network is a network of computers running Stellar software to sustain its distributed essence, entity, let's say so. The next one is Stellar. Okay, yeah, I just said it. This is about company. Lumen. So what is Lumen? Lumen XML. XML is a ticker exchange ticker for this type of token. So Lumen is the native token or built-in asset of the Stellar network. The decimal of the Lumen is called Stroop. Stroops, yeah. Okay, so decimals, Stroops, and one Stroop equals 100,000th, yeah, 100,000th of one lumen. The lumen serves several purposes for the network. First, the lumens are taken as a transaction fee. The size of the fee is fixed and can be changed in the next version of the network if decided by the community. By the community or the voters, the entities that have the voting rights, correct? Yeah. Secondly, they are reserved, lumens reserved on an account as a minimum collateral to enable sending function and to prevent the network from spam and cluttering by keeping account active or eliminating abandoned ones. So it's actually a good feature because if you do not know, many other currencies, cryptocurrencies, allow to create as many addresses as you want, and that probably can clutter the network and spam the network. So spamming can take power from the nodes that sustain the network. Thus the network can go slow. And in case of Stellar, if an account wants to be able to send money, this account must have a collateral. Right now it is, I believe, half of a lumen, something like this. Yeah, half of a lumen, but that depends on the size of the transaction you want to send. So the more, the bigger the size of the transaction you want to send, the bigger the collateral you have to keep, store or stake on your account, and that concerns especially financial institutions who, which are interested in sending big amount of transactions, and we're gonna talk about this in a couple of minutes as well. So I hope you're clear with lumens and stroops as decimals for lumens. Then another notion that I want you to be familiar to, anchors or issuing accounts. So as the lumens present a unit of a value kept on the network, the Stellar network also serves as an asset ledger and provides accounts with assets issuing functionality. Any account creating assets on the network called anchors. The Stellar network also provides an infrastructure for distributed exchange to exchange assets created or kept on the ledger, making stocks and other digital assets available for cross payments. Thus, users can pay units of assets at the point of sale as a general currency. So, what does that mean? That means a very interesting feature. So imagine you are a employee of Facebook or Google, doesn't matter, any company, that has issued a big amount of stocks, okay, shares. So actually share is a security, so share has a value. It can be sold, it can be traded on exchange, so you can change your shares or your stocks for other currencies, USD, Euro, Japan yen, Russian rubles, doesn't matter. So it has a value. The stocks and the shares have a value. That's why they cost something. So they have they can be traded. But right now, trading assets and trading shares, it's quite a difficult process. So you have to be a certified broker, or you have to be connected to a certified broker. This broker has to have access to exchanges, and you contact, if you want to sell exchanges or button shares, you contact your broker. The broker sends an offer, so an offer is confirmed, and so on and so forth. So it takes time, and it's very time consuming and power consuming. I mean, human power consuming. And in case of Stellar, once you have Facebook or Google or any company shares, and if they have market appreciation, so they can be traded for any other currencies, you can pay with your stocks and your shares at a point of sale. Let's imagine you come to a coffee shop. By the way, the coffee is great. Once you come to a coffee shop and you want to order a cappuccino, and you have 1 million shares of Facebook and $0, you can pay with your shares of Facebook for a cappuccino. Sounds great. I'm not sure how it will be realized, so it's just in the promise, and the functionality is still in development, but it's a good feature. And it is actually a good step to develop cryptocurrency market and to bring cryptocurrency technologies to mass adoption. And we are moving forward. I hope you have no questions so far. So if you have questions, write down in the comments. I will be pleased to answer them. And I just want to remind you that the full fundamental analysis will be published on zet.fund/zshop. Today we are going to review only the major factors, major metrics of an asset called Stellar, but full analysis, which is about 23, let me check how many pages. Yeah, 21 pages of information, interesting, checked and true to reality, almost, not almost, well, trying to make it almost 100 subjective, so only facts, no objective evaluations, only facts, only subjective. Gosh, forbid me. Yeah, okay, so I need more coffee. Okay, yeah, find the full fundamental analysis on Zet Fund/zshop, and we continue with Stellar. What is next? So the next is a problem. So let's see what problem is what problem Stellar is trying to solve. So the first problem is transaction cost. The cross-border payments are highly expensive, especially for banks and infrastructure, such as wire transfers or transfers provided by provided by money transferring companies such as Western Union, or what else companies? What other companies do you know? So I believe Western Union is the most popular one. Settlement times. Cross-border payments through banks currently take up to 5 days due to the number of intermediaries involved in the process. Similarly to the problem of transaction cost, this is also addressed by other cryptocurrencies. Infrastructure access. So nearly 2 million people being unbanked and facing economic constraints. Most of these people reside in lower income developing countries where it's hard to find access to a trustworthy or reputable bank. So 2 billion, I'm not sure, I might be mistaken, what is the current population of the earth? I believe it's 7 billion. So 2 billion, it's almost 1/3 of the whole population. So 2 billion, yes, that's a mistake. 2 billion people being unbanked and facing economic constraint. So 2 billion mostly from developing regions such as Asia and Africa, and I think MENA region, and probably Southern America. So yeah, 2 billion is a big number, and those people do not have access to any banking or financial infrastructure. Moreover, they have risks. They face risks operating, communicating with those infrastructures because of different reasons that typical, let's say so, for those regions that where they live. So okay, so the problems are really true to the reality, and so it's a very serious problem, and the market is huge, and the market size, the market definition of Stellar, we'll review in a couple of minutes. Let's now stick to review the problem solution. So what Stellar is offering to us, to the market, to solve those problems announced just before. So the first solution is actually the Stellar network itself. The Stellar network is an open software license, open license software, to be true, with use cases, with such use cases. So micropayments can be executed through this network with a decreasing cost of smaller transfers and other incremental payment options. Stellar remittances feature facilitates low-cost international payments. Mobile money is aimed to make mobile financial platforms interoperable. Not sure about the pronunciation of this word. Interoperable, yeah, and to enable sending between different providers. Okay, so actually Stellar network is a bridge between people to transfer money to each other, but there is a layer of organizations and institutions that actually sustain this network, and as I told before, so nodes, in the case of Stellar, yeah, we'll speak about nodes a bit later, in a couple of minutes. Damn, more coffee, need more coffee. So Stellar network is software, as you understand already. It is free to use, no restrictions on any commercial use of the Stellar network. Typically it takes between 100 up to 200 hours of technical development to integrate with Stellar network. Stellar offers software, tools and documentation to assist the technical side of the integration process. Guys, if you watched the stream on Ripple, and we're gonna talk about Ripple as well, so you probably understood how Ripple works. So Ripple provides infrastructure to the existing infrastructure to infrastructure. Yeah, so Ripple provides software and tools to the existing infrastructure of the banking system. So banks and financial institutions and money transfer operators can switch to Ripple network, and as it is designed in such a way, so the integration is not very complicated, I believe. So for banks with big budgets and for money transfer operators, that's not a big problem to spend couple of hundreds or even millions to integrate in a very sufficient, up-to-date technology. So Ripple provides this type of like layer for banks and financial institutions to connect between each other and to provide new services and at lower cost to their customers. In case of Stellar, Stellar provides kind of platform for developers and for existing financial institutions and banks. So I think you should consider Stellar as a Android operating system for banks and financial applications developers. So it is a set of tools, it is a platform, it is a set of technologies that allows third-party developers to connect or develop a new platform, a new application, and be connected to the Stellar network, thus to provide new type of services to their customers. I hope that's that difference is clear to you. If not, you know what to do. Write in the comments your questions. So, what else is provided by Stellar? It is Horizon API. Yeah, as I said, Horizon API is an API, simply a set of tools and building blocks for creating software applications. Horizon is a RESTful API that allows submission of transactions to the network, checking the status of accounts and subscribing to event streams. So yeah, I just want to say that Stellar Core is the distributed Stellar network, is made up service running the Stellar Core software. Yeah, is it on the presentation? Just let me check. We have Stellar network, we have Horizon. Okay, so there is, yeah, such a notion such as Stellar Core. So the Stellar Core is a software that is run on nodes of the Stellar network. Those servers are maintained by different individuals and entities. So the Stellar Core maintains a local copy of the network ledger, communicating and staying in sync with other instances of Stellar Core of the network. So Stellar Core is actually the software that is kept and run on those nodes that present and sustain the Stellar network. And I just want you to be familiar with Stellar protocol, consensus protocol. So it is not a blockchain protocol as in other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. So the protocol works through the use of quorums, a set of nodes used to reach an agreement on a set of transactions, And also there is Stellar consensus adds social identity and reputation for trust lines. That makes the Stellar protocol more secure and more trustworthy comparing to other protocols. So there is a trade-off between Stellar versus other digital currencies protocols. The Stellar protocol what is it? It is different from proof of work, because like there in the network with the proof of work consensus, there is no identity and reputations. In some protocols there is reputation feature, in some of them there is no. So each node communicates with one another and accepts verification and reach consensus every 2 and 5 seconds with other trusted peers. Eventually you have an entire network of peers that trust each other mutually through other trusted peers. This is how the Stellar consensus protocol forms consensus about who can actually form consensus in the first place without creating a central body that owns it all. So the nodes are actually, it is very similar to Ripple. So nodes are presented by identified, known big institutions or companies that have a proof, that have some reputation and status in the market, in the business in general. So, and those nodes, they sustain the network, thus they provide the network, they keep the network running and operating, and thus the whole network is trusted based on that principle. Okay, guys, you see that my network is not operating very well, so I need to upgrade my nodes. Market. Okay. We have 3 minutes to go, so I'll keep it more for 7 minutes. Okay, so I'll try to be quick. Well, guys, so I believe that the main principles and the main idea of Stellar project is now clear to you. So you understand how it operates. You now understand how it differs from Ripple, which is actually a direct competitor to Stellar. You understand what is the product side of this project. And you understand its advantages, but other advantages we're going to talk right now. So we're going to talk about market definition, market size, and you're going to see how what is the potential for Stellar in the market exists right now. So as we talk about fintech, Stellar is also targeting financial market. So financials, accordingly to categories that we select, we use a list of categories we use, and to be exact, it targets peer-to-peer transactions. So providing the infrastructure for banks and other financial institutions, it targets mainly peer-to-peer transactions. So the transaction value in the P2P money transfer segment amounts to 75 billion in 2008, and transaction value is expected to show an annual growth from 2018 to 2022 of 19.4%, resulting in the total amount of 133 billion in 2020. So the market is huge. The market is huge, The market is stale. The existing companies that provide service in this market are slow, they are expensive, and Stellar actually is not the competitor to classic companies. It is a competitor to such technology as wire transfer or SWIFT that provides bank-to-bank transactions. But actually Stellar as well as Ripple, they're trying to upgrade the existing banking system, providing their software and infrastructure for low cost and faster transactions for P2P transfer and cross-border remittances. Yes, I hope that's clear. Yeah, and as the Stellar presents itself a distributed exchange, so it can be used as a forex trading platform, and the size of forex market is enormous also. So as I told you before, you can pay with Google shares or Facebook shares for a cup of coffee, for a cappuccino or latte or your Americano, and the market of this traded assets is huge. To some estimation it reaches $5.3 trillion, and it will be just developing, I bet you. So, but that's I believe not the major feature of Stellar. The major feature is P2P transactions. So to provide unbanked people with financial applications wherever internet is. Yes. So network economics is the next factor, the next metric that we analyzed. And to be quick and to be brief and to let you understand what is economic model, what is actually the business model behind Stellar, how they go into develop value for the lumens, for the native tokens. So, and there are actually two streams. The first is transaction fees, right? So once you want to send a transaction, you have to pay a fee. As I already said, the fees are currently now fixed. They are very small, but anyway, the market is huge, so the fees that are paid for nodes or those validators of the network, according to the huge numbers, they will be pretty decent, to be honest. And the next stream is liquidity and bridge assets. So as I said, as Stellar provides remittances functionality for money transfer in banks, so they can use Stellar as a liquidity currency to exchange not only fiat currencies like euros, yens and dollars, but also to exchange and trade stocks and shares, as I just discussed a few minutes ago. So this liquidity function must drive the token value along with the population of this technology usage. Pretty the same as the Ripple we discussed. If you want to learn more, just go to YouTube channel and find this stream on Ripple, and there are a bit more information on the token value of such network as Ripple. So the streams of value gain are pretty similar to Ripple, Stellar and Ripple are competitors, but targeting a bit slightly different markets. Okay. So network economics. What is important here, that is the network capitalization of Stellar is 4 billion. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome to consider this network is stable. And what is more important is the liquidity ratio is about 18%. So not very big, but I believe it will be growing. So it's actually enough right now to be sure that you can easily trade your Stellars on the market without any hassle and problems. Next, social and human and brand capital. So it is a very interesting fact that the founder of Stellar is Zet Fund. He actually the founder of Ripple, the project that is a direct competitor to Stellar. Well, he left the project due to some misconceptions or misunderstanding or some issues with other founders, and decided to launch his own product, and he is doing pretty well so far. So he also was the developer of Mangox, scandalously known exchange, Japan exchange, that was hacked a few years ago, and that actually put some dark light, let's say so, on Zet Fund, and only the time will show if he was involved in Mt. Gox hack, because it is one of the biggest hack in the history of cryptocurrency market, and a lot of people lost their money, a lot of people suffered from this hack, and only the time and probably some investigation will show if Zet Fund was involved and if there is his fault in it. But as the information on the web said, that he left the project before it was hacked, and once the exchange was sold to new new owners, the exchange code was rewritten. So there's no fault of Zet Fund due to these facts. But you know, facts can be faked, and we just need to be aware. So far, Stellar looks a pretty trustworthy and solid project. So the non-guilty of Zet Fund looks pretty true. So there are a couple of guys that have a good background in financial sector and actually good skill set. The guy who is in charge for partnerships, his name is Boris Reznikov. I believe he is from Russia or from CIS region. Boris loves thinking about ways to drive growth by building relationships and connecting people with similar goals. Prior to Stellar, Boris was at Deloitte Consulting, where he developed growth strategies for clients in a variety of industries. In the previous slide, Boris advised Fortune 500 companies on hostile mergers and proxy contests. And the chief scientist of the project is David Mazieras. I believe this is the correct pronunciation for the name. So he is a professor of computer science at Stanford University, where he leads the Secure Computer System Group. Professor received a BS in computer science from Harvard and PhD in electrical engineering and computer science from MIT. His research interests include operating system and distributed system with a focus on security. So there are not big names in the team, but the team looks pretty solid, that they have a good background, they have resources to make their goals come true. So the team behind the project looks pretty good. And there is no hidden identities as in other projects we analyzed. By the way, check Dash and Steam if you want to know more about those projects. And as to backers and partners that already supporting Stellar, I just want you to know that Stripe is actually a company that invested in Stellar, and they refused to invest in Ripple, but instead they invested in Stellar. IBM also presents as Stellar partner, and they sustain the network, they help to sustain the network. So IBM computers, they run the network and they serve as not anchors, but as nodes of the Stellar network. And Deloitte is another partner that helps Stellar to popularize and to bring the new technology to the crypto, to the world, not to the crypto world, to the world in general. So guys, we are pretty run out of time, so I just want to be quick with SWOT analysis and investment resume that we have after the fundamental full analysis. Once again, the full fundamental analysis can be found on zet.fund/zshop. The Stellar fundamental analysis will be published soon after the stream. We have already published Steam, Dash, Ripple is coming, Stellar is coming too, so check it out right now. Make sure you're subscribed to our television channel and the YouTube channel, so we are publishing all news, all new projects that we analyzed there, so you can be the first to learn and to decide if you want to invest in this on all those projects. Okay, so SWOT analysis and investment resume. So yeah, as to strengths, let's stick to the most interesting, most important. Experienced team, very well developed documentation and project. Okay, service that solve the real problem. Yes. Okay, so yeah, and they actually have they actually provide, I just want to add here right now from myself, they actually provide a set of tool that is designed to be liable to build dApps or decentralized applications with most common, most popular web technologies such as JavaScript and Java and Python and what else, and C#. So those technologies are very popular, so they are open and familiar to many developers. Thus developers can come and develop financial applications and other applications on the Stellar network, thus popularizing the network and the lumens themselves. Okay, as to weaknesses, dependence on anchors, institutions. Okay, so the rich list, more than 75 lumens are held by the top 20 rich list addresses, but I think in future this risk will be mitigated because they're interested in decentralizing the network as much as possible. All transactions of the network are public, purely designed SDX. So I believe it is decentralized exchange, stock decentralized exchange, although it is in an early stage. Roadmap is not very specific. So those points are described in the full fundamental analysis. We have not reviewed them right now on the stream, so you can find them on the full fundamental analysis, which once again I want to remind that will be published on the website zet.fund/zshop. Opportunities: high upside potential for mass adoption. P2P money transfer market is huge. Foreign exchange, Stellar decentralized exchange might be used as a forex platform. The market for this is huge as well. The number of unbanked people is almost a billion again. Many influential partnerships, that's true. Strong community engagement, yes. And threats: price volatility, that is currently liable to any project that exists in the market right now. Market competition: Ripple. So Ripple is very solid, a very strong competitor, and the competition will be, so the rivalry will be interesting to monitor, to keep an eye on. So, but I believe both of those projects will find their markets and their customers, and they will satisfy their needs, both Ripple and the Stellar. And I believe there is still space for maybe 1,000 or 10 of similar projects, but with slightly different functionality that can solve probably minor use cases. So another threats: difficulty of overcoming trust issues in unbanked regions. Threat of nodes attacked: a major bank of trusted organization would have to gain control of 51% of trusted nodes. These are the threats. And investment analysis. So Stellar project is very solid. Most importantly, it solves the real problem. It is worth to notice that Stellar Development Foundation is non-profit organization, is developing these services to accomplish the mission of enabling access to the platform regardless of geographic location or income level. The team behind Stellar is experienced in blockchain technology and finance, and the Stellar Development Foundation has prominent partnerships with IBM and Deloitte and others. It is highly possible that lumens will be widely adopted and thus will increase in value, and there is a finite number of lumens in supply, so natural valuation may increase with adoption. As more people use lumens, lumens will need to represent large values in order to keep up with demand. So we see that there is a direct connection between Stellar technology popularization and value appreciation in the market. So the more technology is used, the higher the value of the native token. So, and we see the pretty solid team, we see the pretty solid technology and approach. We also see that there is a fierce competitor in the market right now, and the market is not very easy to enter and to conquer. But anyway, Stellar has good chances, and it gets 21.75 points out of 28 according to our methodology. And we rate it as A- with upper investment grade. And once again, I just want you to remind guys that the methodology that we designed can be found on Zet Fund, Zet.fund, under the Zet method tab. You can find all the information and all the metrics we selected to apply for project and assets evaluation. So the full details can be found there. Just want to remind once again that this is not a finite and complete methodology. It is constantly upgraded and changed because there is actually no methodology in the market at all, and that method is the first one, more or less. To be honest, I want to be honest and 100 objective, pardon. More or less, it covers most important metrics of a project to evaluate its investment attractiveness. So we're constantly upgrading it and reviewing, and that's why we are taking a small break next week. There will not be a new stream on the next project, but probably we will publish another type of video. So we'll take a break to review the analysis done by us, by Zet Fund analysis. Pardon, guys. Okay. So we take a pause, we take time to review this, the Z method and to upgrade it, and we're gonna take a new bench of projects and apply the newly upgraded methodology and see what results we get. So once again, Stellar Ripple and Ripple and Steam projects and their fundamental analysis will be already published on zet.fund/zshop. Guys, make sure that you are subscribed to YouTube channel and our Telegram channel. All the information will be published there. Write questions in the comments if you have any. Thank you very much for your time, and see you soon. Bye bye. Okay.